Hello there, fellow gamers. My name is Ashes, and I welcome you all to the channel. Today we are playing Red Dead Redemption number 2 online, and this is another reading ASMR. So we're going to be continuing with our reading of Far Cry Absolution. While we do that, you're watching some gameplay of me and a couple of people who I play with regularly. Just do some bounties, ride around, pre-recorded. You can't hear it obviously, but we're having a chat about things, about the game, things like that. But obviously you're here to listen to some reading. So let's get our book and take the front cover off. Okay, so we are on page 72, and I'll just give you a quick get you up to date on where we left off last time. So two of the people in here called Will and Lonnie, they came upon the camp of the foreign people, the father and his son, I think the Mexican people, and before we finished last time, they were talking to the Mexicans, asking them for some things that they had, and while that was happening, the girl Mary May, she called Mary May, I think so, yeah. She's currently searching on her own for her long lost brother. So let's just find where we were. Okay, so we're gonna continue now with where we left off last time. So let's begin. Lonnie raised his hands, then turned and looked toward Will and to the father. A small half-smile began to spread across his face. Will didn't even see what happened next. It seemed that fast. The boy was on the ground with blood streaming from his nostrils. Lonnie standing over him, one of his boots already across the waist that held the knife. The father turned, but Will was close, and he broadsided the man and sent him to the ground. Will took the rifle from his shoulder and held it on the man, just as he tried to get up to his feet. The sound of Will moving the bolt forward froze the man in place. The boy tried to bring his other hand across and take the knife, but Lonnie bent and punched him hard in the ribs, then reached and twisted the knife away. He stood and tossed the knife and backed away a little as the boy wheezed and tried to gather his breath. "Stop," Will said, watching all of this. Lonnie where he stood and watching the boy. "He's only trying to protect what's his." "What's his?" Lonnie asked, his voice elevated in a tone of disbelief. "What's his?" He took a step away from the boy, then he turned and pivoted and brought his boots up fast and kicked the boy so hard he left the ground. The boy was wheezing and rolling on the ground, trying to get his hands and knees beneath him. "Stop it," Will said again. He could see the same wild smile across Lonnie's face. Lonnie kicked the boy twice in the side as the boy tried to get to his feet, and he was rolling now away from Lonnie, and Lonnie was going after him, kicking him time after time, huffing with the efforts. "When are they going to learn? When are they all going to fucking learn that lesson?" he was saying. "What's theirs is mine. They think they know better than me or John. They think they can just close their eyes and look away." He kicked the boy again. He bent and grabbed the boy at his shirt collar and brought him up, and he started punching him now, raising the boy toward him with one hand on his collar and punching him with the other. Will was on Lonnie almost as soon as he'd made up his mind he had to stop it. He dragged Lonnie backwards, the rifle underneath Lonnie's chin, and Will backing, one hand on the stock and the other on the barrel, choking Lonnie and dragging him from the campground. "You are going to kill him," Will said. "Calm down. Calm the fuck down." The father had risen and he had bent over his son, and Will could see the son's slow movements and see that he had been beaten badly, but he was still alive and still conscious. Will dragged Lonnie further, and he could feel Lonnie started to slacken. He eased the rifle off his throat and asked him if he would calm the fuck down. When Will let him go, Lonnie stood there rubbing at his throat. He looked toward the camp where the father still knelt, trying to help his son. "There's no one here," Lonnie said. "That doesn't mean you can kill him. You saw how the boy reacted when I talked about that church. I saw how they reacted when you threatened to steal from them. You need to calm down, Lonnie. You need to think." He was still rubbing at his throat, and he looked to Will. "It's time they knew. It's time they all knew what's coming for them." "What's that?" Will said. "The end is coming, and they can help us and be saved, or they can go against us and burn with the rest." Will watched Lonnie. He didn't know what to say. "You're a fucking lunatic," Will finally got out. "No," Lonnie said. "I'm a survivor, and all of us are riding in the Ark, and some of us just don't know it yet." Will looked to Lonnie, and then he looked to where the father knelt trying to comfort his son. When Will approached, the father turned and held an upraised palm toward Will and said, "Elefua la exia Allah." He moved his hand, pointing past Will to the ridge above. Will turned and looked. He thought about saying something more, but there was nothing more to say that would make it any better. Something was going on here that he did not understand, and he looked to Lonnie and then looked up at the ridge. Okay folks, so the story is now moving back to Mary May, and we're going to follow her adventure now for the next few pages. So let's begin. The hawk passed again, the shadow now showing in the grass as the bird turned, raising on the fir mows. Mary May was halfway across the broad field that ran the bottom of the valley, and she turned now to look upward on the sky, trying to see where the hawk had gone. Though she had known in some way that what she was attempting was beyond any real sense or hope, she had gone ahead anyway. Now she was walking in the direction the boy had shown her, working over and over in her mind the question she had asked. He had asked, sorry. Your brother is all you have. Drew was 3 years younger than her, and he had been the last along with the rest of his class to graduate from high school before they shut it down. There was a time afterwards where she had just worked. She had worked the bar, and she had done her thing as she always had done, and had not thought about him but to share a meal from time to time, or to see him passing at their parents' place. She had kept her head down, and she had saved and tried to help her parents with the bar. When he came in and told her that he had joined the army and would soon be leaving, she had not known what to say. She realised for a long time, ever since they had been kids together, she had never talked to him. She had never truly thought to ask him anything of any real depth. She walked on. She thought about what the herder boy had asked her next. She thought about what he'd said to her. He had wondered what she would do when she found him. He had wondered what would happen if she found her brother to be someone other than who she thought he was. I hope you mean the same to him as he means to you, the boy had said. He had turned the horse around right there, and with a little nod to her, he was gone down the ridge the way he'd come. Okay folks, so it appears the story is now coming back to Will and Lonnie. I think I'm saying his name correctly. Lonnie? Is it Lonnie? I'm not sure. I think it's Lonnie. L-O-N-N-Y. Lonnie, I think. But we're going to end the reading here for now. I know it was a quick one. About 15 minutes. But if you remember my video a couple of weeks ago talking about changes to my channel, I will be uploading another reading ASMR this week, possibly tomorrow. So I hope you all stay tuned for that. I'm very much enjoying this story. I'm a big fan of Far Cry 5, which is the game that this story is set before Far Cry 5. And it's a game I enjoy a lot, and I still come back to it every now and then, just to mess about, drive around, things like that. You know, it's a fun game, and it's got a good story to it. I think the fans are split 50-50. Some think it's bad, others think it's good. I think it's good. It's a good twist to the story in the game. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I'm going to end it here now, so until next time, take it easy, and I will see you all in the next one.